Hello, I'm Nikki Newman. This is my official YouTube channel. Please subscribe and support us.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It is a crazy Tuesday and I am running on zero sleep and way too much coffee right now, but we have to talk about this massive breaking news. So grab a drink and settle in because we have a lot to cover today. And honestly, I just do not even know where to begin with this absolute nightmare that is happening out in Las Vegas right now. Because it is bad, really bad. Just when you think the Newman family has been through the absolute worst things possible, here comes Matt Clark again. So Matt has been playing this completely sick and twisted game with Nick and Adam and Chelsea out in the desert. But that is not even the worst part. Because now Sharon and Noah are dragged right into the middle of it. And they are paying a terrible, terrible price. So let me just dump all this information on you right now because my brain is absolutely fried from trying to process it all. So Sharon and Noah flew out to Vegas because of course they did. Sharon is always going to drop everything to try and save Nick. It is just who she is. They have this bond that never breaks no matter how much drama they go through. And Noah went with her because he is a good son and he wants to protect his mom and find his dad. But they had no idea what they were walking into, none at all. They thought they were just going on a rescue mission. But Matt Clark was already 10 steps ahead of them. Because Matt is a total psychopath who plans for every single detail. So they are driving out in the middle of nowhere. The Vegas desert, it is hot and dry and desolate. And their car starts running out of gas. Just out of nowhere, the needle is dropping. And you know that feeling of sheer panic when you are driving on an empty road and your gas light comes on. But for them it is a million times worse because they are already on edge. They are already terrified about what has happened to Nick. So they are driving and praying for a gas station. And then they see one. A deserted, creepy-looking gas station just sitting out there in the dust. And they have to pull in. They literally have no other choice. Because the car is dying. But here is the thing. It is a trap. It is a total, deadly, completely calculated trap set by Matt Clark because Matt lured them there. He probably messed with their rental car or tracked their phones or whatever sick thing he does. He knew they would run out of gas right at that exact spot. He wanted them to pull into that specific gas station. Because he has this crazy twisted idea of justice, he wants revenge. He wants to destroy every single person who is connected to Nick Newman. And that means Sharon, and that means Noah. So they pull into the station, and it is dead quiet. The pumps look old and broken. The convenience store part is dark. And you can just feel the dread creeping in. You can feel it through the screen. Sharon is looking around and her motherly instincts are just screaming at her that something is wrong. Noah is trying to be brave, but he is just a guy. He is an artist. He is not a fighter. And Sharon is a coffee shop owner and a mom. They are not trained for combat. They do not know how to fight off a psycho killer. They are just regular people trapped in a nightmare. And Matt wants it that way. He wants them vulnerable. He wants them to realize that they are completely helpless. Because Matt is angry. He feels like the Newmans ruined his life. He feels like he is the victim in all of this. It is totally delusional, but that is how his sick brain works. He wants justice for himself. And in his mind, justice means killing Sharon and Noah. He wants to wipe them off the map. He wants Nick to wake up from his drug haze and find out that his family is dead. That is the level of evil we are dealing with here. So Sharon and Noah are at the gas station, and they realize the pumps aren't working. And the car is dead, and they are stranded. And they need to stay calm. Sharon is probably telling Noah to just breathe and look for a phone or a way out. They are trying to keep their heads clear because panic will get them killed. But how do you stay calm when you are stranded in the desert and a killer is hunting you? You just can't. The adrenaline is pumping. The fear is choking them. And then it happens, the explosion. Just writing about it makes my hands shake because it is so brutal. Matt does not even give them a chance to fight back or run away. He just blows the whole place sky high. A massive, deafening, earth-shattering explosion rocks the entire gas station. The blast is so huge, it is just a giant fireball erupting in the middle of the desert. The heat wave alone is enough to melt the paint off the cars. And Matt is the one who did it. He planted the explosives. He rigged the whole place to blow up the second they were trapped inside the blast radius. Because he is a coward. He did not want to face them man-to-man. He just wanted to burn them alive. And the fire is just massive. It shoots up into the dark sky. It consumes the gas pumps and the building and everything around it. The sound of the blast is like a bomb going off. The shockwave knocks everything over. And Sharon and Noah take the full force of it. They are thrown by the blast. The sheer impact of the explosion knocks them both completely unconscious. They do not even have time to scream. 1 second they are trying to figure out how to get gas, and the next second the world is just fire and noise and pain. They are thrown to the ground. The debris is falling everywhere, burning metal and glass and concrete raining down on them. And the fire is spreading so fast because it is a gas station. There is fuel everywhere. The flames are roaring. The smoke is thick and black and toxic. And Sharon and Noah are just lying there in the middle of it, unconscious, defenseless. They are severely burned. The heat from the explosion just seared their skin. They are bleeding and broken and completely knocked out. And Matt is probably just standing somewhere in the distance watching it burn. Watching his sick idea of justice go up in flames. Laughing to himself while a mother and son are literally burning in the rubble. But thank God for small miracles, right? Because the explosion was so big that people heard it. People saw the fireball in the sky, and the police are called immediately. Sirens start wailing in the distance, the flashing red and blue lights cutting through the thick black smoke. First responders and fire trucks and ambulances just rushing to the scene. Because it is a major disaster. And the cops get there. And the firefighters get there. And they have to fight back the flames to get to Sharon and Noah. It is a frantic, desperate rescue mission. The paramedics are rushing in with stretchers. They find Sharon and Noah in the wreckage. They are barely breathing. Their clothes are singed. Their skin is burned. They are covered in soot and blood and ash. It is a horrific sight. The paramedics are shouting orders. They are hooking up oxygen masks. They are loading them onto the stretchers. And they rush them to the hospital. The ambulance ride must have been absolute chaos. The sirens blaring. The medics trying to stabilize their vitals. Trying to treat the severe burns on the fly. Because burns are so dangerous. The risk of infection. The shock to the system. The sheer trauma to the human body. Sharon and Noah are fighting for their lives in the back of those ambulances. And they are completely out of it. They do not know what happened. They do not know if Nick is alive. They do not know if Matt is caught. They are just lost in the dark. And then we get to the hospital scenes. And it is just heartbreaking. So heartbreaking. Because we see them in the burn unit. They are covered in bandages. Thick white gauze wrapped around their arms and their faces and their bodies. The hospital room is quiet except for the beeping of the heart monitors. The 4 drips pushing fluids and painkillers into their veins. They are in so much pain. Even unconscious, you can tell their bodies are just traumatized. The doctors and nurses are working around the clock, treating the severe burns. Applying the ointments, changing the dressings. It is a slow and agonizing process. Burns are literally the worst injuries you can have. The recovery is brutal. And Sharon and Noah have a long, long road ahead of them. If they even wake up soon, because the blast was so forceful, they could have concussions or internal bleeding on top of the severe burns. The medical staff is just doing everything they can to keep them stable. And you just have to stop and think about the emotional toll of all this, because physical wounds heal eventually. But the mental scars, the trauma of being blown up. Sharon has been through so much in her life. She has fought cancer. She has fought mental illness. She has fought losing her children. And now she is lying in a hospital bed covered in burned bandages because some psychopath decided to use her as bait. It is just incredibly unfair. She just wanted to help the man she loves. And now she is fighting for her own life. And Noah, poor Noah, he never asks for any of this. He just tries to live his life and do his art and be a good person. He is always getting pulled into the toxic orbit of his family's enemies. He goes to Vegas to support his mom, to find his dad. And he ends up blown across a parking lot and set on fire. It is just tragic. You look at him lying there in that hospital bed, wrapped in bandages, and you just feel so angry at Matt Clark. You want Matt to pay for every single ounce of pain he has caused this family. But Matt is still out there. Matt is still playing his games. He still has Nick locked up somewhere high on fentanyl and cocaine. He still has Adam running around trying to fix this mess. And now Adam is going to find out about the explosion. Adam is going to find out that Sharon and Noah are in the hospital with severe burns. And Adam is going to lose his mind. Because Adam cares about Sharon. And Adam knows that this is all connected to Matt's vendetta against the Newmans. The guilt is going to eat Adam alive. And what about Nick, if Nick ever wakes up from his drug overdose? If Nick survives the hell that Matt put him through in that storage room, how is Nick going to react when he finds out that his soulmate and his son were blown up trying to save him? It might actually destroy him. Nick is already hanging by a thread. The drugs have messed up his brain. The anger is already there. If he sees Sharon and Noah covered in bandages in a hospital bed, Nick might actually become a killer himself. He might hunt Matt down and end it once and for all. Because this is not just a game anymore. This is attempted murder. This is terrorism. Matt blew up a gas station. He caused massive property damage and nearly killed innocent people. The Vegas police have to be all over this. They have to be hunting Matt down. But Matt is slippery. He knows how to hide. He knows how to manipulate people. He might even try to finish the job at the hospital, because that is how psycho he is. He might dress up as a doctor and try to get into their room. The police need to have guards on Sharon and Noah 24/7, and the rest of the family back in Genoa City. Victor and Nikki, they are going to get the call that every parent dreads, that their grandson and their former daughter-in-law have been in a massive explosion. Victor is going to unleash the full power of Newman Enterprises to find Matt. Victor does not mess around when someone touches his family. Victor will hire every mercenary and private investigator in the country to track Matt down. Matt thinks he is so smart. He thinks he has won, but you do not wake the sleeping giant that is Victor Newman and expect to live a long, happy life. But right now, all that matters is the hospital. The quiet, sterile hospital room, the smell of antiseptic and burn cream. The slow, painful rise and fall of Sharon's chest under the bandages. The monitors tracking Noah's heartbeat. They are alive. That is the only good news here. They survived a massive, fiery explosion. Because they are strong, because Newmans are survivors. But the cost is just so high. I just keep picturing the scene at the gas station. The sheer panic when the pumps didn't work. The realization that they were trapped. It is like something out of a horror movie. You are stranded in the desert. The heat is beating down on you. And you know someone is watching you. Someone who wants you dead. And then the sudden, violent flash of fire, the noise, the destruction. It is cinematic, but it is so deeply disturbing. Because it is happening to characters we have loved for decades. And that's justification for all this. His twisted sense of justice. It just makes my blood boil. He thinks he is the hero of his own story. He thinks he is righting the wrongs of the past. By blowing up a mother and her son, it is pure evil. There is no redeeming Matt Clark. There is no understanding him. He is just a monster, and he needs to be stopped. Before he kills anyone else. Before he blows up another building. Before he destroys the entire Newman legacy. So we are just going to have to wait and see. We have to wait and see if Sharon wakes up. We have to wait and see how bad the burns really are. Will there be permanent scarring? Will there be lasting nerve damage? Will Noah ever be the same again? The physical therapy alone is going to take months. The skin grafts, the surgeries. It is a long, dark tunnel for both of them. And they are going to need each other to get through it. They are going to need their family. And I am just sitting here typing this all out and feeling completely exhausted by it all. The drama never stops. The danger never stops. You think things might quiet down for a minute, but then a gas station explodes in the desert. Because this is the world they live in. A world where your past always comes back to haunt you. A world where psychos hold grudges for years and then try to burn you alive. It is relentless. It is clunky and messy and painful. But we cannot look away. We have to know what happens next. So keep Sharon and Noah in your thoughts, because they are fighting the hardest battle of their lives right now in that Vegas hospital. Covered in bandages, fighting through the pain, surviving. Because that is what they do. And let's just hope that Matt Clark gets exactly what is coming to him. And soon, because the viewers cannot take much more of this guy. I certainly cannot. Alright, that is all the info I have for now. I am going to try and get some sleep before the next crazy thing happens. Because you know it will. It always does. Thanks for reading this massive rant. Stay safe out there, guys.